European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker delivered his annual State of Union address to the European Parliament in Strasbourg on Wednesday. His speech centred on the region's burning issues: terrorism, populism and Brexit. The former Prime Minister of Luxembourg made a swipe at the approach of the far right. Let's embrace the kind of patriotism that is not directed against others, and let us decry knee-jerk nationalism, which rejects and attacks others, and seek scapegoats rather than looking for solutions that allow us to coexist better. He unveiled new plans to beef up the EU's Coast Guard with a pledge to send 10,000 more border guards to tackle unlawful immigration by 2020. Juncker made a renewed call for a strong and united EU. He urged for solidarity amongst the 27 member states. Member states don't yet have the right proportion between responsibility for their own sovereignty and the necessary solidarity amongst themselves. I am and remain against internal borders. Where they now exist, they must be removed. If they remain, they are a backward step in Europe. Juncker had some kind words to offer British Prime Minister Theresa May in response to her calls to reach an unprecedented Brexit deal. But he did make a clear signal that the EU would not accept London's plan to keep the UK in the single market after leaving the Union.
Someone who leaves the Union cannot be in the same privileged position as a member state. If you leave the Union, you are, of course, no longer part of our single market, and certainly not only in parts of it.
Juncker alluded to the annual speech being his fourth and final State of Union address. He was met with a standing ovation. A few years ago, standing in the very same spot, I told you that Europe was the love of my life. I love Europe still, and shall do so forevermore.
Et je continuerai de le faire. Merci de m'avoir écouté.
The European Commission head also spoke about a Europe-Africa trade deal, a move which could create up to 10 million jobs and attract more private investment to the continent.